Are you serious? Are you serious? And I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, they're messing with me in a lot of different ways. Well, it's because of the urgency of the situation that we're in. The urgency, the urgency, the urgency, the literal urgency. Somebody said there's no sound. Um, let's just triple check that one more time. Do we have sound, guys, before I go any further? Well, I just went live a minute ago. It said there was one more time. Okay, here we go. I got it. Do we have sound, guys, before I go any further? We do. Well, okay, I'm sorry about I just they're trying to block me every way they can or silence me or whatever. It's you guys know we're in a spiritual war, information war. So anyway, I have urgent information. You know about Putin, his threats of nuclear war to the United States and to the NATO countries. There is definitely a line has been drawn. A line has been drawn. A red line. And I'm going to explain it. And plus, I got some more information about this. Okay. So give me just one moment. I'll put a quick shout out if I can for getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. But first, you should know this. Would you believe it if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true, guys. And it's not some weird, trendy superfood either. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil, especially if it's from the Holy Land. But you're probably used to cooking with it. But there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger like me. Now, for example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. And besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's fantastic for your insides. And according to Dr. Stephen Gundry, that famous cardiologist, surgeon, nutrition expert, health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible. Take a swig, all right? And it will really help you. Keep it in the medicine cabinet. Get some olive oil. There's so much benefits, but there's a lot of different brands. And he wants to help you understand what is the best olive oil to get, how do you get it, and what can it do for you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to click on the link below this video, and it's getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. Learn all about it, and I think you'll be really, really glad that you did. Thank you guys for taking the time. And listen, let me just say that this situation, of course, we're talking October surprise with a webinar, but we've got some situations right now. This might be what the October surprise is, guys, and that is nuclear war or World War III. Let's go back to the debate. Remember, Trump was being attacked 3-1, but every now and then, in all of it, trying to defend himself, he brought out some very powerful statements. And one of them was, he said, if you elect her, she hates Israel. Remember him saying it. She hates Israel. And she went ahead and said, yeah, I want a two-state solution. And matter of fact, the United Nations went ahead and gave Palestinians a seat at the table now in the General Assembly, which is crazy. There is no nation, okay? It's a fictitious thought. I guess terrorism gets rewarded, but that's not what I'm worried about right here. That alone is bad. I'm real bad. But remember, President Trump said something else. He said, if you elect her, she will start World War III. You're not listening to me, he said. She will start World War III. Now, he knew about what was about to be happening here, that NATO was getting ready to give, for the United States and NATO, we're going to give permission for Ukraine to start using the long-range missiles that they've been provided with. And Putin has said that is a deal breaker. Putin has said that is the red line. That is the red line. And matter of fact, we've got information now that there is Russian nuclear submarines off the coast of Washington. That's not the first time they've done this, but there's definitely a high alert with the silos and nuclear installations and capabilities. Russia has assets are moving to get in position to literally launch an attack. And, when Trump was saying they're going to start World War III, but I can end this, guys, that could be our October surprise. We could actually be in a world war. I'm not joking now. We're not playing now. Where it can't play now. It's all for keeps. Listen to what Putin said. The Russian leader drew a red line, as he said, on the support for Kiev. It came ahead of President Joe Biden's meeting this morning. President Joe Biden met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in Washington this morning. Trump knew that this meeting was coming up when he was doing the debate on Tuesday night. He knew what NATO and the United States was about to do, and that was to allow Zelensky of Ukraine to start firing long-range missiles. Folks, that means they can hit Moscow, not just drones. Talking about capability of doing devastation, causing this war to totally changing the game, changing the rules of this engagement, putting Ukraine on the major offensive. Not just poking the bear, smacking the bear. President Vladimir Putin has now warned that Russia will be at war with the United States of America and its NATO partners if it lifts the restrictions on Ukraine from using those long-range Western weapons. Putin vows to follow such a move with appropriate decisions. Was his latest, perhaps most drastic attempt to draw red lines over NATO members backing Kiev. And it came on the eve of a meeting in Washington, D.C., that Biden was to meet with Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer. Now, British Prime Minister Starmer did have the meeting this morning with Joe Biden as London clashes with Moscow over the expulsion of those 6 diplomats accused of spying, accusations the UK has dismissed as baseless. The United States and its allies have appeared increasingly open to letting Ukraine use these long-range missiles. Guys, you have to understand, if you're Vladimir Putin, if you're Russia, you can't just sit there and let the NATO nations start firing long-range missiles into your nation. Even though you say, but they're the ones that started it. Everybody knows that Putin made the invasion on Ukraine. We all know that. But also, he has nuclear weapons. Remember people did not listen to what President Trump said Tuesday night. He said they're going to start World War III. And then he said, you don't understand. They were coming at me like, how are you going to stand up to Putin? He goes, you don't understand. I remember him saying that. You don't understand. They're a nuclear country. They have nukes, lots of them, more than we have. And they're about to cause World War III. I'm about to end the war. Remember him saying that? And the media, the talking heads, the commentary, the little parrots running around, all they want to do is talk about how she got under his skin a little bit and her demeanor. And the man was warning us. The man was warning us. And as I'm warning you right now, it's still not sinking in. As I'm saying it right now, it's still, I know it's not. It's not sinking in. It's not sinking in. The man was telling us. He said they're going to start World War III. He says Russia's a nuclear nation. You don't understand. And they don't. And of course, he's privy to the top degree. He has all the access of the information as a former president as President Biden has. He knows exactly the moves that are being made militarily. And even though he has to play this little baby game of politics, this little, he knows that there's danger lurking for America, and it's still not sinking in. So guess what? Biden doesn't care. Joe Biden is willing to put this country and Europe under a possible tactical nuke attack, and he's willing to do it. Now, that would cause a pause in the election. That would push that back. That would be called a pause. That would push the election back probably 6 months. But worse than that, remember when Mike Around the World says that 70,000 people are about to die? Has anybody been listening? He said it 2 weeks in a row. 70,000 people are about to die. And I kept saying, okay, what are you talking about? I mean, that sounds like a tactical nuke on a city or something. And of course, Mike can't go all the way. He can't say things that's classified. He can't follow that track that I was on. But he said that 2 weeks in a row. Mike Around the World's the same guy that told me Israel's getting ready to be devastated. They're going to try to disarm Israel. But even before Israel was attacked on October 7th, it was Mike Around the World on this channel on Thursday nights, 3 weeks in a row. He said, Pastor Paul, you need to understand, Israel is about to be attacked. They're about to be attacked. And then after he said it 3 weeks in a row, then the fourth week, it happened, October 7th. He saw it, the chatter, they see the movement, they understand, they hear the threats. He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. And you say, well, if we knew it was coming, we could have stopped it. Folks, the United Nations was in on the attack on Israel. The Reuters reporters were there. Al Jazeera reporters were there. BBC reporters were there, embedded with Hamas when they came across the border, and they were recording it. They were there to cover the story as the slaughter was going on. So you have to understand, and they were right there, and nobody was calling home, say, please. They were working on the inside to do it. So now what Putin is saying, he's saying, I'm going to do this. And guess what? Trump knows it, but Biden went ahead and did it anyway with Starmer. They have given Ukraine's president, Vladimir Zelensky. The U.S. and its allies have appeared increasingly open to letting Ukraine use those long-range Western missiles to strike deep into Russia. We've already put the missiles there, guys. We don't have to send them in to get them ready. They're already been sent in. They're already ready to go. Putin is saying, if you launch these, if you strike me with these, that's war. That's absolute war with you. No longer Ukraine, you, United States and NATO. You want a war? I'll give you a war. You fire those missiles, I will give you a war. That's what Putin is saying. And while that's going on, but listen to this. The United States and the allies have appeared increasingly open to letting Ukraine use these long-range Western missiles to strike deep into Russia. The culmination of a month-long push by Kiev that has sparked the Kremlin's fury. We are not talking about allowing or not allowing the Ukraine regime to strike Russia with these weapons, Putin said. In comments, he said this last night. We are talking about deciding whether NATO countries are now directly involved in a military conflict or not. If they fire these missiles, the game will change. And folks, I have information. I have got information this afternoon that there is serious concerns about Washington State. There's serious concerns about Alaska and other Western states, especially where there's a lot of silos. And so there's movement. There's already movement. Assets are moving. Putin is getting in position. He is preparing to launch. He's just waiting to see if they're going to do it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to just step back and just tear loose and fire 15 nuclear warheads. No, he won't do that, because that's the end of it. That's the end of everybody. If he does that, we do that, and it's over for everybody. No, that's not what he's going to do. What he's going to do is, if he sees long-range missiles fired out of Ukraine deep into Russia, he is going to do something tactical. And I mean, it could be, who knows? He could do it to London. He could do it to Germany. He could do it to Brussels or Berlin. He could do it to Warsaw, Poland. He could send something Alaska's way. He could send something Washington State's way. Not enough to be a nuclear detonation, but it's certainly a tactical devastation. And I'm telling you, the man is not playing. And it's almost like right now, our country wants a war. It's almost like Washington wants to do something to get something started. If that could be, literally, guys, and I can't blame Putin. I mean, at some point, you can't fire certain weapons into a nation, because if you do, you declared. Right now, they're fighting a conventional war. We don't like it that Russia invaded Ukraine. None of us do. And but NATO has to be extremely careful. Cooler heads need to prevail. Guys, if this happens, you can forget the election will be put on pause for months. I would say that Biden will be stepping down. There'll be a process where he then steps aside. Harris goes ahead and takes the presidency. The election gets shoved back 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it takes. And by then, it doesn't matter. And I'm not, this is about lives. When Mike from the World said 70,000 lives, he kept saying it. What was going through my head? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. I remember him saying to me, do you remember when he said to me in November of 2019, before we ever heard of the pandemic, he said, but it was right at the end of a program. He said, Pastor, by the way, come March, millions of people will die in China. I said, whoa, are you serious? What? Whoa. What do you mean? He goes, I can't say no more, but I'm just telling you, come March of 2020, millions of people will die in China. He said this in November of 2019, before anyone ever heard anything. So what I'm telling you, he's told us 3 times that Israel was going to be attacked. He told us 10 times that Israel will be disarmed. And he's also told us now 2 weeks in a row that 70,000 people are going to die. And he didn't say where it's going to happen, but he knows the weapon, and apparently he knows the different locations that could be the target as a response to the long-range missiles. So Putin is drawing the red line. Biden is meeting with the Prime Minister of the UK in Washington this morning. He said, here's what Putin said: this will mean NATO countries, the United States, and the European countries are at war with Russia. If you fire one of those long range into here, that's what this means. If you do that, that's what you've just done. He said, and if that is so, then bearing in mind the change in the very essence of this conflict, we will make appropriate decisions based on the threats that will be created for us. Putin added that the Ukrainian army does not have the ability to program long-range missiles or the satellite data necessary for the targeting. They're relying on NATO military personnel for those tasks. So if that long-range missile is launched, it's not Ukraine, it is you. That is what Putin is saying. Putin's comments were echoed by the Speaker of Russia's State Duma in a Telegram post today. NATO became a participant in military operations in the Ukraine, and they are the ones waging the war on our country, he said. Now, it doesn't matter how you or I feel about this. Washington State, the intel I'm getting is Washington State is one of the targets. Now, it doesn't mean it's gonna get hit. It just means it's one of the targets. And I'm telling you right now, this ain't about who's right and who's wrong. This is about 70,000 lives or more. This is about the rules of engagement changing totally. This is about all signed treaties out the window. This is about postponement and a pause of the electoral process. This is about World War III. This is why God woke me up and put literally, folks, I went into a trance. I went into a vision. And that Revelation 9:11 up there, that right there, it was just like that. I seen it. Revelation 9:11, big, bold, red letters. It was a sign hanging in midair, suspended. And the Lord spoke to me and said, Paul, it's about to happen. It's upon mankind. Warn the people. It's the hour is upon mankind. When did this happen? When did I see this? July of 2021. When I came out of that time of prayer and under the anointing and if you've never had a vision, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you have, you would understand. I'm telling you that this was a directly from the throne, okay? Not just a dream that I'm trying to figure out, was that from, did I just have bad pizza, or did I dream that, or was this that on my mind when I went to sleep? No. This was an absolute, I was wide awake, wake up call from God. And I've only had about 5 of those in 40 years of ministry. So trust me when I tell you this. And I said, after I grabbed my Bible and I went to Revelation chapter 9, and I read verse 11. I grabbed my Bible. I just went straight. I said, what is the Lord telling me? Revelation 9:11, emergency? Is it where? So I didn't know. So I just quickly grabbed the Bible, and I went to Revelation to read the one verse. And it says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. And I said to the Lord, the king over who? And if you read back up ahead of it, it tells you it's these locusts that have breastplates of iron and helmets and have stingers in their tails. And they do great, and they will hurt the earth for 5 months, which is about how long some of the initial effects. I mean, radiation lasts a long, long time, but I'm saying the weather gets affected from nuclear detonation for a good 5 months, okay? The Bible tells you in the book of Joel that the sun will be darkened, the stars you can't see, the moon will look blood red. And so then the Lord, and then if you read on, Revelation 9:12 says, and one woe is past, and behold, there comes 2 woes more hereafter. And then the next verse, and the 6th angel then sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God, saying to the 6th angel, which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels, which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Okay? So there's these 4 fallen angels that are right now bound in the river Euphrates. They can't get out until Apollyon is released. And then they get released. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. 2.6 million people. 2.6 billion people. A third of the world. And that number of that army of horsemen was 200,000, which is 200 million. And I heard the number of them. Now, God says to me, go write it down. And so I said, write it down. And then I said to the Lord, you mean write a book? Document what you just told me. Document what you're telling me. And that's what the Lord wanted me to do. So, of course, it took 2 years, a little over 2 years to get it out. And the whole time when he says the hour's upon you, first thing you think is it going to happen tomorrow? Then when I realized he said, write it down, I knew then there was time, that he wanted it documented. He wanted me to get it written down, to put the prophecies in order, to explain what's happening and put it out there. And I wanted to get it out there, guys. I wanted it out there as quickly as I could. Now, this happened to me in July of 2021. Putin invaded Russia. Excuse me. Putin invaded Ukraine in February 24th, 2022. When I saw him move in, I said, oh, no, I got to get this book out. But I was still in the middle of it. And then another year goes by, and I'm freaking out trying to get this book out. And then October 7th comes, and Israel gets attacked. So now I got to put that into the book, and I'm still trying to get it out. So Russia's moved into Ukraine. Hamas has brought the Holocaust to the Holy Land. And then I finally can get the book released. And I got it out, of course, on March the 26th, 2024, this year. And in it, of course, we set up the scenario of the Psalms 83. We talk about Psalms 83, Ezekiel 38, the sixth trumpet war, which is World War III. And now I'm sitting here today, and I'm looking at the words of Vladimir Putin, and I'm watching some of the stupidity by world leaders. And I'm thinking to God, this is what you're talking about. This is what you were showing me. It's coming. It's upon us. And as we fight and scratch about cats and dogs, as we run around wringing our hands and cackling all over the place, we're on the brink. October surprise, if we get there. And so if you haven't got my book, you better order it. And order 5 of them, give 4 copies away. And if you haven't got the webinar, get it. Get your ticket now. And I will bring I'm doing a presentation too. You see me interview everybody else, and I let everybody else give their October surprise, but I'm going to give mine. I am. And I'm being led by the Spirit of the Lord. Are you saved? Have you given your life to Jesus Christ? Now, they've been messing with my sound. They've been messing with my streaming abilities. I'm going to play a song, and it better sound good, or I'm about ready to come unhinged on the rest of the crowds, the powers that be.
God, I'm so scared for this crooked generation. You even find faith in the earth when you bring down revelation. Forgive us now the sins of our youth, worshiping the idols that knew everything but the truth. Teach us how to uncorrupt our minds. Show us now while we still have the time.
Gregory, are you an idiot?
We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah.
Not Gregory Vickery. Not you. He's a good guy. Not Gregory Vickery. The other guy just says his name is Gregory.
We throw our gold and silver in the street.
How much will we see before the fire falls? Lord, could this really be the last altar call? We need your blood over the doorposts of our hearts. Anoint us with your fiery love as the praise and worship starts. We need Yeshua. All right, I'll take a deep breath.
Holy, holy, hallelujah. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets.
What happened in Washington State, Beverly?
We abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets.
Somebody, does the music sound good?
We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street.
Thank you, BP.
We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street.
There's a video out. There is a video out. Apologies to anyone whose name is Gregory. I wasn't talking to you. I was just talking directly to one guy named Gregory. Okay. But I'm fine. Everybody calm down. Take a deep breath. We're all good here. But there's a video out. Massive explosion goes off at SeaTac Auto Shop over there by the airport. Now, and I see the video. It's so give me one moment here. How long ago was this? Give me 1 second, because there was a large fire that burned over by the SeaTac Airport in Seattle 2 months ago. But is this the same? One man dead, 2 people hurt in some kind of crash. So give me just 1 second here. So, you know, I mean, the media is kind of quiet on this. I'm trying to see. So, thank you, Terry. Thank you. The music is great. Okay, thank you. You guys noticed that last night, though, on the air. Beverly says it happened in Washington State here just recently, or today maybe. It's amazing because your mainstream media, which I'm not shocked the mainstream media would not want to cover something, but you would think somewhere out there there'd be something about this. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you for letting us know. So anyway, I'm glad the music. You guys remember last time was a great broadcast. Matter of fact, a lot of people got saved, and it was really, really, really good. Great information and everything came forward. But the music was awful. Okay, it was completely awful, and no matter what I tried to do, and there was a couple times we even lost all sound. So I went live a couple minutes before I came live here. I launched and went live, and I had no sound at all, zero sound. So I had to kill that live broadcast, delete that video off so the people didn't get confused which one is which. And then I launched this video, and thank God over 1,300 people spontaneously showed up for this. And it was so important that you did. So thank you. But I'm thinking, okay, does the music even work now? Have they messed my system up? I called Israel on the phone. He said, Pastor, they could be messing with you. Go ahead and go live again. And this time now it's working. So I just want to make sure. Anyway, last night the music was bad, but the broadcast was good. So sorry about that. I apologize about that. I love all you guys. Thank you. I love all of you. I don't like being I don't mind being challenged. I don't mind even being said I'm wrong. I don't even mind people criticizing. But when you do something stupid and you say something stupid, the old saying is stupid is as stupid does. At some point, Jesus turned tables over. I'm not even got that. I haven't even went that far yet. He called some of his critics generation of vipers. I've not even went that far yet. Okay. I just dropped the idiot word. Okay. I apologize. And we'll do better. It's a passionate time right now. Lives on the line. I'm talking about 70,000 people could be killed. I'm concerned about World War III. So God bless all of you. Get your tickets. If Pastor ever made $1.5 million from a webinar, thank you, Scott. He would probably use the 1.4999 million to spread the gospel. I guarantee you I would, Scott. Thank you for that. It's just, I think I get all of us, especially we get a little sensitive every now and then, or maybe just I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It was a long night last night, and we're doing everything we can, with every ounce of resources we got to try to win people to Christ. And I'm walking by faith, man. I'm walking out on a plank every day, and God's always supplying the need. But when I see, and then the devil, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and when I see that, you're attacking the base to where we have the ability to reach the lost. Can't help but defend it. I just can't help sometimes just say, look, I'm tired of that. Stop that. Quit lying. Bible tells you that all liars will have their part in the lake of fire. And so, in some ways I'm warning. The Bible says rebuke before all that others may fear. And also you may deliver that person's soul from hell. So it was a biblical move I made there, but at the same time, I shouldn't use the idiot word. So I'll do better. I'll refrain until I go insane. What? In the migraines and the membranes, I might just go insane, but I'll try to do better. Okay. JT says, I just bought my webinar ticket. Thank you, JT. God bless you. I love you guys. Hey, I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Stay with us here. Keep looking up, Lord. Lord, have mercy. Everybody, keep looking up, because our redemption is drawing nigh. And if you haven't got Jesus in your life, I really beg you, please, to call on the name of the Lord and get saved, okay? Give your life to Christ before it's too late. God bless everybody. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?